Whether your beer is in a bottle, can, or glass, kick back and relax. It's Better on Draft.
Hello and welcome to Better on Draft, episode 371 at a special time, a special recording. My name is Rob, and with me today is Wendy. Hi, Wendy. How are you? What are you drinking?
Well, I'd like to say choices were made today, but I just grabbed the first beer in my fridge, and right now it's all Michigan craft beer.
That's okay.
And I grabbed a Dragon Mead Brewery Final Absolution.
Hey, way to start your day.
Nothing like an 11% beer at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, that sounds great to me.
But it's delicious.
I went a little more low key. I have an expat key lime from Taxman Brewing. It's an Italian lager with key limes in it. I don't remember what the ABV was, and I don't see it right away. So 5.2. It's more reasonable for 2 o'clock, I think.
Yeah, a little more reasonable. Choices were made, apparently.
That's right. So today we are going to talk about some beer festivals that are coming up, because we will not be live at our normal time next week, the 25th. So we are bringing this to you instead.
Thanks to one of those beer festivals, which I'm pretty excited for.
I was preparing for the show and looking at that beer festival, and yes, you should be excited for it. So I'm going to start by going with the beer festival that is coming up next, and that is on the 19th, which is tomorrow as of this recording time. Maybe this podcast will get out to the feeds by the time the festival starts. Either way, I will be there. It is the Indiana Brewers Guild Festival. Their Summerfest. They used to call it the Indiana Microbrewers Festival. Now it is called Summerfest in 2025. That one starts on Saturday at 3 p.m. 2 p.m. if you buy the early bird tickets.
How do you get the early bird tickets?
Oh, right. So all of the tickets were available maybe back in April or somewhere around there at the lowest price that they would be offered. And you could get an early bird ticket at that time. They had 3 tiers this year. There's a couple of new things with this festival. One of them being that it's at Victory Field, which is where the local minor league baseball team plays, the Indianapolis Indians. Go Indians! But because of that, they have a new level. They call it the MVP Lounge, and so it's one of the boxes. It's air conditioned. It has its own restrooms, and it seems to be catered. And there were a lot of benefits to getting that one. That, of course, being the top tier, that also gets you in that extra hour early. There was another tier that gets you in the hour early, but you don't get access to the VIP lounge, or the MVP lounge is what they called it this year. In the past, they've had that concept, but it's been a tent. And usually in the tent and in this lounge, they have special barrel taps and things like that will go on. So that are only available there. But then the peon tier that I get is just the normal general admission, gets you in for 4 hours of drinking. We don't do tokens here. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, honestly.
Do you do tokens or tickets at all, or
no? It's just
as many samples as you want.
As many samples as you want, which could become a problem. Yes. I mean, the normal service rules apply. If you're too intoxicated, they aren't supposed to serve you. And maybe they stop serving you. I'm not sure. But that doesn't seem to stop friends from, helping their friends make even worse decisions sometimes.
True story. I don't know that tokens necessarily stop that from happening, to be honest, because I've seen a few people at beer festivals that have tokens that are in the same situation.
Yeah. I some part of me wants to believe that's going to slow people down if they have to go get more tokens. But some part of me knows that it won't.
So
So,
here in Michigan, our festival is July 25th and 26th, and it is the Michigan Brewers Guild Summer Beer Festival in Ypsilanti, Michigan. It's a beautiful park. It's been going on there for, oh gosh, I can't even tell you how many years. But it's a really awesome time. It's either usually extremely hot or raining, is what I've come to find. I've been there years where there was tornadoes that came through. But we do have VIP at the hour early entrance. But that is for the Michigan Brewers Guild. Sorry, I can't think straight right now. The Michigan Brewers Guild beer enthusiast members.
that makes sense to me.
$30 to be an enthusiast member, and that gives you an hour access, the hour early access when you buy a ticket. So it's not something that you can purchase additionally, but you do purchase it additionally, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get it. So it's like it's going to strongly encourage you to go to all of the festivals to get the most value out of your membership.
Yes. Well, I think it's funny though, because there are times when the line to get into for the VIP is longer than the line to get in for the actual festival. I've seen that happen before.
Yeah.
They're pretty quick about getting people through though. So, and
kind of to that point, here we do banding, which is what will slow down our lines somewhat. They've gotten really good at them. They have a better banding system than those paper wristbands that always stick more to your arm hair than in your arm than it does to itself. They've got some better system of a plastic locking thing.
okay.
But that can slow things down because people fumble with their IDs and all that. That's the point of the band, is to show that you are 21. So that way the servers don't have to check your ID every time that you get a beer.
Right.
But to kind of combat that, they've started doing pre-banding events. And so like today there are 2 pre-banding events, and I think there's another opportunity Saturday morning. And they can be kind of fun. I've been to one once, and it was at it was at Tomlinson Tap, which unfortunately is closed, but is the tap room run by the Indiana Brewers Guild. It's closed for remodeling, so it's nothing. It'll come back. No, but it's run by or in strong partnership with the guild, so it always has beer from all over the state on tap. It's a really neat location anyway. So we go down there, get banded, have a couple beers, and head off. But then
one of
you
the
skip
things,
that part of the line.
right. One of the things that I always enjoyed about pre-festival activities with the tokens was being able to do token counting, because it takes a lot of people to put together all those little packages of tokens. So that was always fun. It looks though as if we're switching from tokens, where they're doing tokens on Friday night, but on Saturday they've changed their format up a little bit, so they're doing tickets instead.
Okay.
So we'll talk a little bit more about the format changes a little bit later, but I'm interested to see if that's going to move us in a different direction.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. The other difference that we had talked about before the show was the pricing and the way it works at ours. I've helped run a race, like a 5K essentially, and it followed the same pattern where if you get the really early access or really early tickets, then you get a huge discount. In this case, it's $35 for general admission if you got in when the tickets were first available. And that's a pretty good price for 4 hours of drinking craft beer. So that's a pretty good deal. I did not do that because my calendar at the time said I was busy this weekend, but then something changed, so I'm not. That has gone up to, or will go up to $60, so that's $25 more. But the way it worked when we were running the race was that we could take all of those pre-sales dollars and use that for paying our vendors and our bills and all the stuff coming up before the thing. So it helped a lot, even though we were getting technically less money per ticket. It helped because that's when we needed the money.
Right.
So there were a few tiers like that, and I'm pretty sure, well, based on my experience, I'm guessing that they based their price increase times on when bills were due.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
We only have one price increase. Friday's prices are $55 in advance and $65 at the day of at the gate. And I will be honest, I have purchased a ticket on my way there.
Right.
It's happened. On Saturday, the admission is $60 and goes up to $70 the day of at the gate. So it's just the one price increase. It's just it costs a little bit more the day of.
Yeah. Yeah, and that makes sense too. You got to charge the people something for not planning ahead.
Right. So, and this year they've changed the format a little bit. And on Saturday, they're going to be doing a concert on Saturday night. So the beer tasting portion of the day only goes until 6 p.m. And then a concert will start. So instead of getting beer samples at that point, you can purchase beers for, I think they said 5 to 7 tickets. I'm not sure what the ticket, if the tickets are going to be like the same cost as the tokens. I think I could probably find that information here.
Right.
But they also are selling a ticket to just go to the concert part. And the concert, the band is Keller and the Keels, which I am not familiar with. So, and
I was not either. I was hoping you would tell me.
I am not familiar with them. I would be interested in watching the concert, but my family reunion is on Saturday. So I'm going to be a Friday only for Summer Beer Fest this year, which is sad because I think it's a different vibe each day. And I would be really interested in trying out the new format. Yeah,
that sounds interesting. Our festivals, I've never done a 2-day. I'm not aware of a 2-day around here. So the 1 day, usually 4 hours of drinking is plenty for me for a while, and I definitely need a recovery day.
Yes.
So that'll be interesting. It's like there's Indianapolis runs a half marathon first weekend of May on Saturday. Cincinnati runs a half marathon, a full marathon with a half marathon option the first Sunday of May. And so the hardcore will do both, but that's another one where I would want to recover between them more than a few hours.
There was a few years ago, we did, my friends who are DCFC ticket holders, we did Friday night beer fest, Saturday beer fest, and then we went to a DCFC match on Saturday night. That was a very long day, and Sunday was definitely not productive at all.
Right. Was there a lot of singing Saturday?
Yes.
Perfect. So some other interesting things that I wanted to bring up about the Summerfest that is new. One thing is that carryout will be available from some of our vendors. I don't remember this being a possibility before, but you can get cans to go. And the way I manage this particular, because I've been to this festival more than once. This is the first time it's been at Victory Field, the ballpark, but it's not that far from where it used to be. It used to be at Military Park, which is still downtown Indianapolis. That's just a nice grassy area, whereas Victory Field is exactly what you'd think a minor league ballpark would be. And traditionally, usually I'm with a group. This time it's me and a couple of friends who are getting there their own way, and a fourth friend. So it is technically a group, but we're coming from different places. So I'm going to be Ubering down and then, do the festival. And then there is a trivia night that night. So we will be leaving the festival and walking to trivia, and who knows how that'll go. So I don't know that I'm going to take advantage of the carryout available this year, but I thought it was interesting that that is a possibility. I'm not sure how many other people are walking out of the festival and how many will be, getting a ride somehow.
I usually Uber, just because it's safer. That way I don't have to pay as much. Well, I mean, I do pay attention to how many samples I'm actually having, but I don't have to worry about if I don't pay attention. I guess I should say.
Yes, yes, or leaving
Um,
the car overnight.
yeah, I just feel like it's the responsible thing to do.
Hmm.
I find it funny because when I first started going to the beer festival a long, long time ago, um, I was always worried about who I was going with and made sure I had a group of friends that I was going with or had somebody to hang out with at the festival. And then I joined the Detroit Draft Divas. And there was one year where I just didn't make any plans and decided to go at the last minute. And I had the most fun because there were so many more people that I had met that I just ran into at the festival.
Right.
And since then, I tend not to make as many plans when I go. And I just kind of run into whoever I run into.
Yeah, I hear that. We've talked about Winterfest is the February festival here, and that's usually when I'm drinking the alphabet. And I do go with friends, and we have a great time. But I have found that I don't spend so much time with my friends while I'm doing that project because I'm off looking for my next beer.
Right.
So Summerfest, I've never done a project like that at the same time. So Summerfest is different, and last year, for example, I felt like I was with my friends the whole time. I go with a smaller group for that one. It just was more fun, and I don't know, it felt better that way. But by the same token, if I was there and I didn't have, like, if I wasn't there with friends and I was just in line and I saw someone I knew, I would have no qualms about hopping over to say hi or,
Right.
just suddenly hanging out with them for a little while or any of that. So I think that that's a good way to do it too.
Well, so in the past, the Detroit Draft Divas, we have a diva tent that we purchased specifically for Summer Beer Festival. And it was just a spot where anybody who was a diva could come and sit and hang out and relax when you needed a break.
Yeah.
And this year, though, I actually wanted to point out that on Friday, they've changed the rules. Friday is the only day that you're allowed to bring tents in.
Oh,
So you have to leave them because Saturday, the whole logistics of the concert makes it difficult for them to leave those up. So they've asked us to only bring in tents on Friday, but you can still bring a chair
okay. Well, that's something.
on Saturday.
So you just can't sit out of the sun unless you find
There's
shade
yeah,
somewhere.
there's some shade there. I'm sure that they will have something available. The beer tents are all still there too, so you just can't relax in those. But by
Right.
then it's 6 o'clock, you know.
Right.
So during the day
Yeah.
it might be a little more difficult, but I'm sure that they'll have something shade wise for people available.
Yeah, I will bring up the map for the people who are lucky enough to see the video of this of Summerfest. It's at the ballpark, like I've been saying, but the way the ballpark, this one is set up, it's got a loge over the infield seating. It's all outdoors in the outfield seating, so it's more of the batter's eye that you're familiar with at all the other ballparks. It's just like that, except, well, of course, the batter's eye, no one sits there, but the rest of it, you've got, just green. It's really nice. It's all grassy, and I used to go there with the kids, and we would have a fun time. I would watch the baseball game, and they would play with their friends running up and down the hill out there. Um, but most of the vendors are set up in the concourse area, which is covered. I don't know what angle the sun will be at. I have not thought that far ahead. I know I'll be wearing sunblock because I burn anyway, no matter what angle the sun's at. But then the outfield part, that is all unprotected. There are trees and things, but it's still, you're on your own. No, you're on mute, Wendy. You're still on mute, Wendy.
How about now?
Yeah, I got you now.
All right. So, I guess what we're saying is make sure you wear sunscreen no matter what festival you go to.
That's right. Yeah.
It-
And remember, you have to reapply it too sometimes.
yes. Has it been as hot there as it has been here?
It has been today. It's really nice. I think it's around 80 for our high. I didn't even look at what tomorrow's going to be, but it has been hot.
Yeah, it's been kind of ridiculous here. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. And I did get a new outfit specifically for this festival. I will be going as a hot dog because it's a ballpark. And unfortunately, the hot dog costume is a whole lot warmer than my banana or pickle or shark.
Oh no. Well, bring water too then.
Yes.
Or one of those neck fans.
That's
It'll just
like that, yeah.
blow air at you. My friend
Yeah.
had one of those when we went to Minnesota, and I was so jealous because it was ridiculously hot while we were there that I went and bought one. But the one that I bought was not as quality as hers, apparently, because when I put it on, it sounded like there was something taking off right next to my ears. I'm like, okay, that's not going to work.
Yeah, funny stuff. Yeah, that is different this year as well. We can't bring our own container in. We used to be able to bring in like an empty water bottle and then you could fill it when you got in there.
Huh.
It has to be a sealed water bottle. So I will at some point have to go find one of them because I don't have one around the house.
A sealed water bottle? Oh, like
Like a
like
plastic.
actual plastic purchase bottle?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
wonder why that is. That doesn't make any sense.
I'm sure it has something to do with the ballpark and its rules.
Oh yeah.
So I'm
Do they
sure
provide water for in that kind of heat?
they probably have something. In the past, there has been a water truck. The last couple times it's been, the Sun King has a really cool trailer that has taps on it. And they've brought that in and it's just been full of water. I think it's the Sun King trailer anyway. Yeah, and that's just been full of water when they pour from there. They've got a mobile truck that also has taps on it that they pour from. So that's what I've done in the past. I've got some great collapsible water bottles. Just they're little 250 milliliter water bottles. They're not big, but they, as you drink them, it's just, I don't know, a rubberized plastic bladder. Does not sound appetizing that way, but when you finish
But
it,
I understand what you mean.
yeah, it's when you finish it, it's you've just deflated a balloon, and so it fits in a pocket or whatever. Yeah, so I could probably sneak one of those in, but I am not even going to bother. I'm just going to get myself a bottle of water, leave it sealed, and take it in.
That makes sense. So, were there any other changes to yours this year that you want to talk about?
Yes. Let's see. I think this is the first. This is definitely the first festival that I've noticed. We have CBD beverages that will be there. So an outfit called Floral Beverages will have CBD beverages. So that's kind of interesting. That's, I don't know, it feels a little risky or risque. It's just a lot of mixing, and I don't know who's monitoring intake of those things or how that works because there's no real regulations around it. But that's not my problem. I'm more worried. I'm more wondering what kind of different behavior in some of the attendees are we going to be seeing if they are pounding CBD beverages.
Right. Wait, so say that again. They're allowing both?
CBD beverages will be there. So cannabis-based beverages.
I'm definitely going to question you about that after the
Yeah.
festival.
I'll at least walk by there and see if I can't get some pictures or maybe some video. We'll see what people are doing. Either they're going to be super chill and just sprawled out on the lawn nearby, or I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there. We also have a canned cocktail place that will be set up, pouring canned cocktails, but they have carryout available as well. That's High and Mighty Distillery, if anybody wants to look them up. And because it's at a ballpark, they're doing different games and activities than they usually do, or at least some. They're doing inflatable t-ball, and then the other yard games you'd expect, like Jenga and bank or cornhole, things like that. The T-ball will not be out on the field. It'll be, I'm pretty sure, out in the outfield, like not in the baseball outfield, in the home run area. I think that it'll be set up out there. And this year they have a contest for the best snack attack attire, is what they called it. And so, Wendy, I have to know, do you wear your snacks?
No. No, I don't.
I don't either.
I've tried it.
Yes. They get sweaty.
I am too unprepared to make a necklace of snacks. I've seen some really cool ones, and I have had friends that have made them for me. I don't have time for that in my life.
Yeah.
I would love to.
I will fill little zip top baggies with pretzels or things, and bring those in.
Yes.
But I don't like wearing. I sweat a lot anyway, and I don't like wearing clothes, or I don't want my food sitting in my sweat.
Right. Well, I do. I mean, the friend that made them for us just put pretzels on ours.
Yeah.
And then, like, the next year, I saw people with like cheese sticks.
Yes.
And beef sticks and all kinds of crazy stuff on it. I was like, well, that's fun. Again, who's going to take the time to do that the night before?
Yeah. Well, planners, I guess.
True. I mean, I'm pretty good at planning most things, but that to me, I don't know.
Yeah. We have one friend in our group, and she is usually the person who buys all the snacks. And it's funny. So she did buy us snacks for Winterfest. She can't go to Summerfest, unfortunately, because she would tell us what's still in the trunk of her car from Winterfest as far as what snacks we have available and if we have enough.
Well, that's the thing, too, is I don't know what snacks I'm going to actually want once I start drinking.
I know I want meat sticks and pretzels. Those are what I snack on when I've been drinking.
I eat pretzels only if that's what's available. It depends on what kind of pretzel, though.
Yeah.
Because there are certain pretzels that I will eat anytime they're available.
Yeah. The sticks, I always love sticks. But then I've been eating a lot of pretzel crisps. So I will usually just, those are what will be in a baggie if I bring a baggie.
Yes. I usually will bring a sandwich with me as well.
Okay.
Just some type of sandwich so that like halfway through you sit down. I had a friend that used to make those sandwiches on the Hawaiian rolls.
Yeah.
And she would just put them all back in the container, and she'd have them available for everybody at the Diva tent whenever somebody needed something to eat.
That's great, and it's smart, and it really helps people to regulate what they're bringing in.
Yeah. So we do have food available at ours. There's usually 3 or 4 food trucks. Some of them really good. Have in fact purchased lunch from them quite a few times. So yeah, I
definitely ate from the food truck at the Fall Beer Festival when I was up there. And I enjoyed that. They'll have tents. They'll have I'm trying to remember, but I'm pretty sure there's a barbecue tent that will be available, or barbecue vendor of some sort. And then because it's in the ballpark, I think they have some of the concessions available too. And then I saw some other of their partners who are basically restaurants or food vendors will be there as well. And speaking of partners, I think that you'll like this one. One of the vendors there is something called Heartland Sparkle Fairy Hair.
Ah, yes.
Okay, so you knew what that is.
I would be all in on that.
I had to look it up. I'm not against it. Just had to look it up.
It's the things that they put in your hair, and
yeah, they're very colorful and sparkly. It looked like.
Yes, my sister actually does that for my niece and her friends. Sometimes my sister has it in her hair too. We used to, the face painting company that I worked with, we used to do that.
Okay.
So we don't anymore, but it's a long story. But it's fun. I love it.
Yeah, I don't have long hair, but I don't know. I'm not against it. I'll see how much drinking I've been doing and what time I stop by the place. So I thought it was a cool idea, though.
They can trim it for no matter how short your hair is.
Okay.
You do
of
have to
course.
have enough hair for them to be able to crimp it on there, though.
Yeah, they might be able to. I don't know. We'll see. They may just turn me away. The other partner I wanted to call out, and they've been a partner for the Indiana Brewers Guild before. Little Red Door. A lot of the proceeds and stuff go to this organization that provides cancer-related services to the medically underserved, as they phrased it. So it's a worthy cause, and I do feel a little bit better when I see them there and that know that some of this money is going to them and helping them do something I agree with.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I look forward to little things like that. I try not to investigate them too much because I don't need to know like what percentages or any of that stuff. But it's got to be enough for them to have a presence there.
Right?
So that is the festivals. Those are the festivals we're looking forward to. I have a few breweries at mine that I'm going to call out that I am looking forward to, and reasons why. Bad Dad Brewing is going to be there. And they are ones I forced you to play a game of guess the style based on the beer name. And I would love to get them on the show.
I was just going to say, we need to get them on.
So I had to call them out. Broad Ripple Brew Pub, which goes to probably all the festivals. They're at a lot of them, but they are at least the oldest brew pub in Indianapolis, maybe in the state. I'm not sure. And the guy who started the place and runs it was a huge influence on getting home brewing going in the city. So this one you'll probably be interested in as well. Deviate is going to be there. Yeah, I got to make sure to stop by there and pace myself afterward. Previous guest, Goodman House, is going to be there. They were on episode 363, so I will stop by and say hi. Taxman Brewing, who I've mentioned and am currently drinking one of their beers. I am always excited to see them. I don't always stop by their tent because I am so familiar with their beers, and I'd rather spend the time and alcohol on stuff I can't usually find.
That's what I do. I try to go to, if I have never heard of the brewery or I know it's in an area that I can't get to very easily, I will stop there first.
Yes. As soon as I see a brewery from a city I am unfamiliar with, then I will, one, ask them where that is, because I'm not an Indiana native. I do not know my Indiana geography very well. So that's one way to learn the state, right? Where all the breweries are. And then I will try some of their beer. The last brewery I want to call out, though, is Traders Brewing. They were on episode 339. That was the episode before Ken started his break. So if you want to go back and listen to Ken episode, that would be one of them.
So I am not going to call out some breweries on this episode because I'm going to encourage everybody to watch the Better on Draft socials and website for the list that our writer Ed puts out for he's not just a writer, he's like our editor-in-chief. I don't want to diminish him to a lowly writer.
He's definitely the man on the ground at a lot of places too.
He is all things website related for us.
Yeah.
But he puts out a fantastic list every year. He does it flight style to tell you which beers to look out for, which beers he thinks everybody should look for. We think so. Check that out. It should be coming out at some point this weekend.
Excellent. Great. I will be looking forward to that. That will be coming out probably when I'm sobering up. So I'll have something to read about.
Yes. And if you want to go back and look at past festivals, the list that he's put out, I have gone to festivals and literally drank the list that he put out before I joined Better on Draft. So nice. That's it's usually a pretty good list. He's got a good eye for what to look for.
I do want to, when I was looking at the Michigan Brewers Guild their program for the summer festival. I loved that they had essentially a checklist of all the breweries, so you could check them off if you wanted to.
Yes. I think that's amazing. Not only that, for the pre-planners, if you go to the Brewers Guild website and look at, they have a QR code in their FAQ section about the beer list. If you click on it, or if you're on your phone and you use the QR code, you can do that. They have a list of all the beers. I just lost it. I was going to show you. That you can search by style or just by brewery. So we have 91 breweries presenting 588 unique beers in 80 different styles.
That's
So
cool.
I think it's really cool that you can go like Belgian triple, click show style, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 breweries that will have a Belgian triple at the Summer Beer Festival. So I think that's awesome if there's a certain style you really like Ken likes alt beers. Sorry, Ken, there's only one at the festival this year. Wah, wah.
You know where Ken's posting up.
Right.
So if somebody wants to say hi to Ken, go find that alt beer and he'll be
Yep.
there.
So, there's a lot of Hefeweizens.
It is summer.
That's true. I could do like a whole, just try all the Hefeweizens this year.
Yeah, that would be an interesting exercise. I wonder when the palate fatigue would set in. Like,
right?
Would you get to a state where you never want to drink a Hefeweizen again?
I doubt that.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I highly doubt that. I might need a couple days off from them, but never not want to drink it. But I think this is just a really great site, especially for people planning to be able to figure out what you want to hit, make sure you note those down ahead of time. And again, excuse me, again, look for the article, the list.
All right, that sounds like great. So as we know, or as we've heard, you and I are not planners, but we know that the tools are out there. So it is totally our own decision not to plan.
Well, so I am a little bit of a planner because I do go through the list and see what's going to be there, which breweries are going to be there, so that I can look for the ones I'm not familiar with. And I also always have the list of the better on draft ones to check out to make sure that I hit at least a few of those.
There you go. Okay, so some light planning. That's pretty good.
I will say that it's easier if I do that to remember which beers I like the best when they ask us for it after the event. Because after the event, we always put out a list of what our favorites in show were. So I've also learned to take notes when I really like something. I write it down. I don't write it down. I put it in my phone.
You're right.
So that I don't forget
used to be writing it
what
down.
I was looking for.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try to do that this time. I was remiss. I did not write anything down at Winterfest because I was too busy just with the alphabet. And then at the fall festival, I was surprised, not unpleasantly, but I didn't think about the fact that we get asked, what our favorite beers of the shows were. So I was kind of on the back foot for that one. But there was a pickle beer. I was dressed as a pickle, so that was an easy answer.
Right.
I hope there's not a hot dog beer.
Oh, yeah, I hope not.
Yeah. All right, Wendy. Well, I will let you get back to the rest of that 11% beer that you decided to open.
Right.
And we'll sign off. Whatever you think of your beer, we think it's better on draft.
Cheers.